right an adult with learning disabilities who lives at home like me and hasn't had bad care now for 3.5 years is only left with £15 per week to pay for their upkeep.
So Robbie, that obviously does not sound right at all. And one of the things I constantly do with people who are in my constituency, and you know, sadly, you've moved out, Robbie.
Yeah, because she's not coming this afternoon.
You've moved out. But maybe we're going to have to make we're very careful with this, because there's very strict rules about MPs not helping people in other constituencies. But Robbie, it sounds like something's not right, obviously, with your benefits. And one of the things I'm constantly doing with people who come to my surgery is working with them, often in conjunction with Citizens Advice Bureau, to make sure that they are actually getting all the benefits that they are actually entitled to. Because that can't be right. And if, Robbie, what you're saying, you know, is correct, that you're left with that £15, then obviously we need a law change around that. And you know, I will be more than happy to champion that law change, because we want people like you to be properly supported, because you're contributing, like so many people, you are contributing so much to our community. Thank you.
So I'm going to hand over to somebody who actually understands the situation, because to be completely honest with you, the last 3 years, the most confused I've ever been is trying to deal with benefits for people with learning disabilities who have the least IQ. So make whatever you want.
Yeah, no, I think with Robbie, when he changed boundaries, he was given an assessment by social services, which everybody has, is entitled to an assessment of need. He was offered a package, but because the contribution that Robbie was then financially assessed to make meant that if he had that package, he would be left without any money. So that is why, that as a family, they couldn't afford to continue having a care package, because they didn't have the money to be able to pay towards a contribution. So this is a contribution that is set by the government with the minimum income guarantee, and it is set standard for all working age adults over the age of 25, I believe. It's less for the younger adults. Older people are given a much, much higher minimum income guarantee, obviously people over 65. Our kind of group, I hate to, I always want to blow their trumpet and make out what they can do. A lot of them aren't going to be able to work to the level to bring in enough money for them not to be in receipt of benefits. The government take back so much of their income from their PIP, which is a non-means tested benefit, but so it's an actual pointless benefit for our guys to be claiming, because it is taken back by the local authority, because they're only allowed this minimum income guarantee, which is what the government say they should live on, disregarding their disabilities. They do, it's so complicated, it's really hard for me to explain to you, but we struggle as advocates every day trying to fight for decent care packages, decent benefits, for the government to then take it all back in contributions. There's something does need to change.
So I'm going to be completely honest with you that I tried to research this last night about this particular specific point regarding PIP, and I've been through the Disability Action Plan, and you know I've been going on Google, and I cannot, I'll be honest with you, I cannot get to the bottom of it at the moment. But Robbie knows that I have been to see his MP in Parliament in Westminster, and I have said to her that Robbie has a specific problem, and that Robbie needs help, and that, you know, if Robbie's got a problem, it's going to be a genuine problem, and there are going to be lots of other people with the same problem. same problem. So, I know, but the way we work, I get it.
I think the thing is that there is a weakness to the way we work, and that Robbie is the face of this. And it's not just Robbie
Yes.
expecting. I mean, one of the reasons we're all standing in today, sitting and standing, whatever we're doing today, is because there is no way out of this. We've got ourselves into such a mess with how the law works, and there are hundreds, if not thousands, of Robbies who are struggling with this. And frankly, that's what we've been trying. Alison and I have been trying. We tried again.
So they don't even allow people who live at home to contribute to the rent or housing costs.
So the point I was just trying to make is that almost everything I've done in the last 2 years comes back to a constituent. So just to give you a simple example which just illustrates that. So a lovely lady who lives not so far away, Anne Cushion, had 4 of her dogs stolen. Luckily they were recovered because she runs a brilliant charity called Tilly's Angels. So that spurred me on to change the law, which I've done with the Pet Abduction Act, because there was somebody...
Anna, sorry, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to stop you there. But the Pet Abduction Act, and are you really actually, sorry, are you really comparing the Pet Abduction Act, which is a very important thing, to people who can't afford to live in it?
That's really unfair. I'm not an uncaring person. I have 2 people who have had, learning disabilities in my own family. One has died and one is still alive, but she still takes part in the Music Man project. So my mother was a specialist in special educational needs. She told me for 40 years at Charlton School. She ran the department. She was brilliant. She gave children such opportunities that they wouldn't have had. I'm not an uncaring person. I was just simply trying to illustrate, Robbie, why I haven't championed your specific point. Now what you're saying, Beth, makes me realise this is clearly something, if I'm lucky enough to be re-elected, I will have to take up. Because I totally accept that what you're saying is this is something that's bigger, much bigger than just Robbie. So I give you that, my promise, that I will sit down with you and try and work this out and try and make the changes you need.
Right.